age, and a lot and quite a significant part of that can be attributed to globalization. The people who did not benefit from globalization, or almost did not benefit from globalization, it's the middle class in the Western countries, and they didn't see their income grow, while the people at the top of the income ladder had significant increase in wealth, and this resulted in a widening gap between rich and poor. In many Western nations, they are dissatisfied by this because they not only see the income difference grow, but they actually see their position declining, and this led to a lot of populist leaders that come to power recently in Europe, which is slow growth in combination with mass immigration, and in the United States, where also things are being the fingers are being pointed towards immigrants, towards business process outsourcing. That was good fertile ground for Trump to get into power. What is not been addressed actually as one of the reasons for this is the fact that technology is going through a rapid transformation. It's going to cause a rapid transformation. AI, IoT, blockchain, many things will be introduced. Robotics will be introduced recently. Last Saturday we looked at a video with all the innovations that are waiting for us, all the innovations that may become a threat to employment. For example, truck drivers, for example, also white-collar workers, for example, people who read CT scans, people who are in accounting, in law, all their jobs are also under threat, and they will be changing. So this adds more gloom to the position of many people. And what are we going to do with it? So we looked a lot at the risks. And I actually have another video, but actually the message is more or less the same, which says, okay, our jobs are at risk. But this morning I would like to show a different kind of video that puts everything a little bit more in perspective, and I'll ask the basic question here is why are there still jobs? Why do we still have jobs, actually? Because we've seen so many automation, but why are there still jobs? So let me share my screen with you.
Oh, okay.
Because you're not recording, right, Rosa?
I recorded now.
Oh, maybe it's better than that you start the screen. I understand it's easier for, yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. I did it. Just my PC this morning. Oops. Ed, I have two questions. Hello? Hello? No, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
And now you can hear me.
Oh, okay, now I can hear you. I have two questions. One question is, what does it mean, O-ring?
O-ring. O-ring is actually a little rubber ring that you use in order to stop oil leaking. So these things is the rubber ring that is that you put in order to make sure that fluids stay in their place. So let's take a motorcycle. In a motorcycle, you use O-rings for your hydraulic forefork, for your oil tank. It's a very inexpensive small part, But his argument is that in a very expensive device, a very expensive machine like the space shuttle, it's a very inexpensive. It was a very inexpensive O-ring, a thing that not even cost $1 to produce, that made the space shuttle crash in midair.
Oh, okay. This is just a reason.
So his argument is that basically, if the reliability, if our investment to develop machines like the space shuttle is increasing, and if the reliability is increasing, then the value of the O-ring is actually also increasing. If one part of the entire supply chain is becoming if the entire supply chain is becoming more valuable, then every element in that supply chain is also becoming more important.
Even if low skilled, low advanced technology, but also those are important. What he said.
Those are important. So if we are in the example that he gives, for example, the bank tellers. So we got ATMs, automatic teller machines, and yet more people are being employed in banking today because their job is shifting towards advising customers or selling them credit cards, making it basically there's a little shift there, but it's very important that because we have such a highly advanced payment system, that we actually generate payments that go through our system. If that doesn't happen, we cannot keep it going. So that's why we actually have more bankers in order to provide value-added services that will make sure that our banks will generate transactions that will sustain the banking system.
How about he showed the slide compared with 30 years ago and now, and low skilled working job is increasing. What is his intention?
Oh, he's arguing that the low skilled jobs, there is a solid demand for low skilled jobs, and there's a solid demand for high skilled jobs, but the demand for middle skilled jobs is especially decreasing because of automation. The low skilled jobs is not worthwhile to automate. The super low skilled jobs, because these are so the middle people. The people who automate go for the middle income jobs because they get more benefit, more bang for their buck. It doesn't make so much sense wanting to eradicate a job that makes $10 an hour. It's better to go after the job from the accountant who makes maybe $80 an hour. So that is that difference. If you want to automate something, you're going to go after the job that makes $80 an hour. So most of the automation is aimed at eradicating people in the highest income and echelons, but thereby creating the most economic benefit for the inventor.
Okay. So what was his message for us?
His message is that we may think that automation will reduce employment and that doom and gloom is waiting for us. But actually, that's not necessarily true. If we play our cards right, if we make sure that we create the right institutions, we invest in education, then and we combine that with the O-ring effect, basically that by improving the reliability in the supply chain, we're actually improving the value of workers, and we realize that people never have enough, that over time, we will create new things that people will want to buy, will want to own. So it doesn't mean to a reduction in working. It means that people will keep on working and trying to buy other things that we have not invented yet. That's happened over time and time again. And why would this time be different? We have challenges, but in the longer run, we will be able to overcome this reduction in jobs due to automation, and we will be able to sustain it and actually benefit from technological progress. So, putting that in perspective of today's technology, like AI and robotics, they could result in a reduction of work. But on the other hand, it will also lead to an increase in programmers, it will lead to an increase in analysts, it will lead to an increase in people who make sure that we are harnessing the effect of AI, that we are tackling more and more different fields with AI that we haven't thought of, that we were not capable of without AI. And this will lead to new efforts in all kinds of fields that we have not imagined yet. And that will create more employment. So yes, AI may kill some of the jobs that we have today, but we will be able to transit to apply AI in fields that we haven't worked in yet. So creating new employment. That may take some time, but if we invest in education and we invest in the right institutions, then we will certainly overcome, and actually AI will bring more prosperity in the longer run.
He said Luddite 100 years ago in England, and at that time they thought automation will reduce their jobs, right? And
Yeah.
now is also the same phenomena will going to be happening, and we can consider for the automation and the robotics will not eliminate our job, he said.
Yes.
But how about your opinion? Last week you said a different opinion.
Yeah, no. I said last week when we saw the video gave all kinds of examples about jobs that would disappear. So basically, the message here is that automation will create a lot of unemployment because these jobs are no longer necessary. Accountants can do their work in a fraction of the time. So that means that there will be mass unemployment among accountants, for example. The driverless vehicle will cause a reduction in people who are needed as drivers on trucks as well as taxis and other vehicles. So that is one message, and it's quite likely that will happen in the short run. But the other message is that if we harness the benefits of automation, we invest in our institutions, and we trust on the fact that people are ingenious, and we trust in the fact that people always want more, then we will be able to transit through this period of unemployment and actually create new employment in fields that we haven't even imagined yet.